All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. This week I'm playing Manchester Country Club in Manchester, Connecticut. This is a really fun, historic course. It's only 20 minutes from where I live, and it's quickly become my favorite course in the area. It's got a really interesting architectural pedigree. Opened in 1917 as a 6-hole course and was stretched to 9 holes by Tom Bendelow in 1922, with assistance from Deveraux Emmet, who came back the next year to expand it to 18 holes. And then A.W. Tillinghast made his mark in 1935 with some adjustments to greens and bunkers. So here's what's in the bag, sponsored by Stewart and Jacoby. I'm using my primary Hickory set for this round with a couple new additions that I'll get into, but we've got the Walter Hagen Splice neck from Louisville Golf, 4 authentic irons, and my trusty Tom Stewart RTJ putter, and I'm using a Callaway Super Soft. And here are the irons of Jacob ORCUTT, my partner. He's got a nice batch of Hickories as well. So here's the scorecard for the front. We're playing the whites. 30-31 is the yardage for the front 9, and it starts with a par 4, 316 yards with water on the left and a sloping fairway from right to left. Here's Jacob ORCUTT. He's the co-founder of the Connecticut Hickory Golfers Association, along with me. And he starts things off with a nice drive right down the middle using his jigger off the tee. I, on the other hand, take a hard left that hits the tree, and thought that I was hitting my ball here. This is a Callaway Super Soft, but it wasn't my Super Soft. So I didn't figure that out till I'd already hit this ball into the fairway. Pretty sure my tee shot went into the water. So not a great start here, but getting some decent contact on the ball, which is all I'm really thinking about early in a round. So I mentioned that there are 3 notable designers behind this golf course, and I'll try to point out features of theirs or holes of theirs as we go. This first one here is a Tom Bendelow design, and it was originally the 7th hole on the course. A lot of changes over the years, but all of them have stayed pretty true, in my opinion, to the golden age roots of the course. So Jacob cleans things up for us on number 1, and we move on to number 2, par 4, 338 yards. Fairway itself is kind of tight, but there's a lot of room on the left and the right side in case you go sideways, which is often what I do on this hole. And today was no exception. Heading to the left rough. So using the Tom Stewart Auto Hackbarth 2 iron from the rough here to get myself back into play. I was pretty happy with that. Set me up with a nice approach here. Usually I really like this shot, but I just didn't do that well at all. Really poor swing there, and find myself in the rough again. But this shot luckily turned out pretty nice for me, using the mashie to run that up. I was just too quick with that putt. So I'm scrambling to get off the green here. Fortunately, Jacob's there to make us look good again. All right, number 3, par 5, 507 yards. This hole used to be the closer when it was a 6-hole layout. The clubhouse was actually on the left side across the street, up a little ways. So I'm using the Tom Stewart 2 iron to get myself back into the fairway here, and that worked out pretty well. So here's one of the new clubs in my bag, at least for this round. This is a Tadmore replica of a Mills aluminum play club. It's 20 degrees, and I had been hitting it pretty well going into this round, but that shot was not a good example. I found myself on the right side once again, trying to get myself into a clearing with the mashie. And here's the other new club in my bag. This is a Walter Hagen Ironman sand wedge. It's got a flange on it. It's a really heavy club, and this is the one that came out after the concave sand wedge was banned in 1931. I had one of those. Didn't work out really well for me, but I like this non-concave version quite a bit, and it's still in my bag today. So here's number 4, par 5, 501 yards. I got back-to-back par 5s, but this was the original first hole when it was a 6-hole layout, and then when it was a 9-hole layout. Jacob starts things off with the jigger off the tee. We got a blind tee shot here, big hill up ahead of us, and the play here is to try to be below that hill if you can't hit it up on top. And I got mine up on the hill a little more than I wanted, which is what I'll blame this poor shot on. Kind of had an awkward stance there, but it was just a bad swing. Fortunately, I found myself in a clearing and was able to get myself back into the fairway with the mashie. Jacob uses his jigger quite a bit and hits it well. He's usually got a nice draw on it. That one drew a little more than he wanted, but he uses it off the tee quite a bit, and like I said, he's hitting it pretty well. For some reason, I just can't get these mashie approaches to work for me today yet. I hit that pin high, but obviously not on the green. And then this chip came up shorter than I wanted. So after this hole, we're going to go back across the street and finish out the front 9 on holes originally laid out by Deveraux Emmet. That starts with this par 3, number 5, 141 yards. One of my favorite holes on the course. Yeah, like I mentioned, these are Deveraux Emmet layouts, but they've been changed quite a bit over the years and don't really resemble too much of his original design anymore. But that said, it wasn't until I played around with course historian Stan McFarland that I had a better understanding of who was behind the original layouts in these holes, but more so how much has changed on these holes over the years, all the while, in my opinion, maintaining the golden age feel of this golf course, which is hard to do. I've played a lot of courses where things have changed over the years and it just doesn't feel like a golden age course anymore. This one does. And while I'm yapping here, I'm getting par on this par 3, which is pretty nice. So, moving on to number 6, par 4, 404 yards. Jacob using the Brassie off the tee here, which he had been having trouble with, but he hits a nice drive right there. And I must have picked up a pointer here from him because I hit a decent drive myself. Another one of my favorite holes. The next 6 holes on this course are probably my favorites. I just really enjoy playing these every time. They're challenging, but they're fun. Here I'm using the Hagen Ironman sand wedge in its native habitat. Just trying to drive the club behind the ball using the Varden technique, and I actually got that ball to check up too, which was nice. And here's Jacob showing you how it's done too. That's a great shot. Tough putt there. And again, Jacob, money with the short ones. Takes us to number 7, par 4, 332 yards. Interesting history of this hole. Used to have a taller hill that would obstruct the green, and there's a periscope behind the tee box that you would use to see if the coast was clear. Stan McFarland said they knocked that hill back a little bit to make it a little bit easier and less penal. That was a pretty good shot there with the Tom Stewart Otto Hackbarth 2-iron. Pretty good chip there with the mashie.
Thank you.
Put me in a spot for a par putt that I just should have taken my time more with. So there's Jacob once again to clean things up. Number 8, par 3, 139 yards. This one's changed drastically over the years. It was a par 3 before, but basically cut across what you see now. And so different that I can't even really explain how different that hole was. Very difficult according to Stan McFarland. This one's plays a lot easier.
Yep, great shot. I'll take that.
Using the Hagen Ironman here from the rough. And this club's so heavy, really all you have to do is put an easy swing and let the club literally do the work for you in popping the ball up. It's 56 degrees of loft, so like a modern sand wedge, but a lot heavier. That takes us to number 9, par 4, 353 yards, slight dogleg right, and then we've got a bit of a creek type ravine situation to cross in front of the green. Here's Jacob with a bullet using the Brassie off the tee. Hit that pretty solid, but it went a little right on me. Still not too bad. Got to play at the green here from the rough using the mashie, and just came up short of the green. Otherwise, it would have bounced up real nice.
Yeah.
Using the mashie to get this up toward the pin. Not too bad. There's Jacob cleaning up his front 9 with another short putt make. And I do the same. So that'll do it from the front 9 here at Manchester Country Club. I'll be back next week with the back 9. In the meantime, check out these 2 videos from my archive. And as always, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.